Good everyone, thanks for joining me today. It's possible to control one's thoughts, but in doing so, there's this halo effect around the thoughts that you avoid or you put away. And I think that there's a, a time, there's a price to be paid, and that thought has to be confronted at some point. So, for instance, the classic thing that would happen for me is I would look at a news article and be on my day off, particularly when I'm sort of more distracted, and it'd be something bad, and I'm like, oh, I should look into this. Oh, this is terrible. I've got to look into this. This is unfair about what has happened here or whatever. I get really wound up about it. And what happens is I realize that, oh, I can just not think about that. If it's not useful, I can put my attention on other more useful things. But the trap is to understand that the emotion doesn't disappear straight away. The fear and the pain, the anxiety will still remain there for at least a period of time. And that just has to be accepted. Life is filled with fear and pain and anxiety, and there's undulating cycle from pain, fear to joy by confronting that pain and back to fear and pain again. That's just a cycle of life. That's just how the world is. The same way that you wake up in the morning and go to sleep at night. Same way that you're born and then you die. This is just an inevitable cycle, biological rhythm of life. It's fine. It's totally fine. And when you move, when you have a thought, you're like, I really don't want to think about that. You put that thought away, and what you've got to not do is then compulsively go back to it because you're worried about it. Don't do that. Just let it go. Yeah, sure, the fear and the pain will still be there for a period of time, but just let it go. And if it does come back and you really feel you need to think about something, that's all right then. Just observe those thoughts, write them down, and let them go again. And the really important thing you can do, like the nail in the coffin, the coup de grace here, the finishing shot here, is you've got to put that time aside to do what I call kind of the strategic work. Sit there almost in like a nexus of your own self. Like I do that by closing my eyes, sitting here or lying down, and just being with my iPad or Android, actually the Android Galaxy Note something or other, and sitting down there and just making sure that at a special time in the weekend, I'm sitting down, I'm completely separated off by those outside concerns like work, and just considering my thoughts, digging really deep and trying to observe and to understand what that generation of anxiety is coming from, and that fear and things like my body wants me to think about where that's coming from. I try and do that a couple of times during the week as well, just a quick 10 minutes sort of sit down, close my eyes. Not really a meditation, but just an allowance of myself to dwell on the things that have been bothering me so that I can really observe them. I find that 10 minutes is usually absolutely fine for most things. Just doing that and recording in the diary seems to be okay. And recording an ongoing diary as well, just your thoughts, seem to be really, really good. So overall, the important quick thing I want to get across is that you can actually just avoid your thoughts, move away from them and think about better things that are more useful, and just accept the halo of fear and pain will just continue for a little while. But that's fine, just let it do that. And maybe it'll come back, that's fine. Just because the thoughts are generating fear and pain doesn't mean you've got to put your attention on the thoughts. The fear and pain by itself just requires a direct physical response. It just requires a focus on the breathing, just requires reassurance, this is fine, this is normal, and then just move through it. The same way that you might face a physical change that makes you afraid. You just face the thoughts that make you afraid. Don't think about them. Just accept them. Don't focus on them. Just focus on more interesting, important stuff. But put aside some time to dwell on, to really dig deep, to talk to people you have to talk to really get to the bottom of why your mind is generating that desire to compulsively think about those things. So put that compulsive thinking time aside as something you really focus on in the quietness of your mind. And I really think about that as the halo around the thoughts. So if you avoid the thoughts and just think about more useful things or put them aside, there's still that halo, but the halo eventually disappears. The halo of emotion eventually disappears, and you get some sort of mental peace or you'll start to become consumed with your next thing you need to worry about. The thing that you should be thinking about, which is how do you win today? How do you achieve results? How do you get things done? That's where you want your thoughts, your energy and emotions to be pushed to. All right, well, thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.